we're standing in right now is a chaparral stand called a ceanothus chaparral type. And what I have here and behind is Ceanothus verrucosus, otherwise known as warty stem ceanothus, which is named for the little bumps on the stems. And what's really interesting about this stand is it's 10 years old, and every ceanothus shrub here is exactly the same age, because 10 years ago there was a fire, and that fire scarified or changed the seeds in a way that allowed them to germinate with the next rain. And that's what's interesting about ceanothus. All ceanothus shrubs, and there's quite a few varieties and species, they require heat for their seeds to germinate. And if a fire came through here right now, the chances are the system would not recover as well as it would have been otherwise had the stand been older, say 20 years. Because when the fire comes through, two things are going out against the ceanothus. Number one, there's really not enough vegetation or fuel here, believe it or not, to create the hot fire that a ceanothus chaparral stand needs for its seeds to properly germinate. If the fire is too cool, the seed coats do not crack properly, and so there's not a sufficient recovery time for the ceanothus shrubs. Secondly, if it's only been 10 years since the last fire, there's really not enough seed in the ground itself, as a seed bank we call it, to allow the system to recover. So you've got those two things working against you at younger age stands under 10 years, and 10 years is really the bare minimum. What you'd really like to have is a 20-year or older stand, and that pretty much guarantees you're going to have a proper seed bank and enough fuel in the system to create the heat to crack those seeds. Chaparral is usually named by the dominant species. So, for example, this is Ceanothus chaparral, because almost 90% of the cover is Ceanothus.